Hi everybody, it's Debbie here. Welcome back to my Crafty Den. If you're new here, thank you very much for hitting that button and watching this video. And I really hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I'm kind of hoping that you'll hit that subscribe button and stick around for some more videos. And also give it a thumbs up if you like it, because all those likes help YouTube notice my channel just a little bit more. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate each and every single view on my channel. And if you'd like to leave a comment below, please do so, because I love the interaction. So today I am working on I'm doing a build my stash again. Because I'm stuck indoors during this self-isolation that we are in, I have decided that I'm going to work on build my stash videos so that I can use things that are already in my craft room. So what I'm making are these teeny tiny little, they're almost like a glassine bag, but not quite. They don't have that waxy feel, and they're not as clear as a glassine bag, but they are like semi-transparent. You can see through them a little bit, like you can see the paper underneath. I'll show you how I make that and how I've embellished the front. I love these little words and book pages and these teeny tiny little tags that I'm putting in. Now I'm doing mine so that they are very, I'm working in a junk journal at this point, and everything in there has kind of a vintage look to it. So I'm kind of on that kick. So mine are really grunged up. And yeah, so I have a few here. I only have this little jute ribbon on the one, because what I thought I would do is leave these ribbons or strings or whatever I choose to put on here till the very end. And then when I go to use them, I can kind of put on what it calls for, because that may be just a little bit different. But I have, this one says days and months. That's how long it feels like we've been cooped up. This one says very kind-hearted, hidden by the shadows. That's how some of us feel right now. I've got world on this one. It says hello world, because the whole world is in the same situation. This one says longing for, and this one says in my heart I know. So these are words from Tim Holtz clipping stickers. I have these, they have all these little bits of words that come out of books and from news stories, and just all different fonts and things like that. They're very cool. I like working with all the Tim Holtz bits and pieces. I have the big chat, I have the chit chat, the small talk, and the clipping stickers. So I love all his little word bits. So that's what I'm using just for my final top embellishments today. And I'll show you how I've done everything. So the first thing I did was I used a piece of this just cheap tracing paper that came from, I think this either came from Dollar Tree or Dollarama. So this is what I used to make my little bags out of, because it's such a nice fine paper. Easy to cut, easy to use. Oops, I got two sheets. I don't need two. I only need one. There. And then to grunge up the bag and make it look like it's printed, I have this ampersand. I don't have all my stamps here right now, so I'm limited in what I can use. So I used this ampersand for the first one. Let me see. All I have is a few of my little block stickers. So I have this. So I'm wondering if that might be cool to use. It is a dream catcher. And what I did was I used my vintage photo for this one. And I just inked up my sticker. And I That's all I did. So I just inked up my sticker and I was going all over the paper. So it's really easy to do. You could use your favorite stamps, you could use different stamps. This would be really nice with some script on it as well. But make sure that you punch in all different directions and that you go off the paper. You can go over stamps that you've already stamped, over places you've already stamped. Just fill it all in, because we're going to cut this up into smaller pieces. So not a lot's going to show. So I'll show you like this one with the little bag. By the time I get it done, it's only 2 inches by, I can't remember how much it was done by the time I was finished it. So it's only 2 inches by about 2 3/4 inches by the time we're done. So they're not very big. I've made pockets and things like for bigger pages, but when you're doing a small journal page, we have different sized bits of paper in our journals. So sometimes we're doing a smaller page and we want something that's smaller. So I thought these would be perfect for that. And I've got a lot of them that are almost the same, so I won't use them all, but I will throw one in some Happy Mail, and they're great. That's what they're great for. These will fit nicely in the back of a pocket letter. So they'd be perfect for that. I'm loving the whole circle look of this. Even if I didn't stamp up the feathers that are hanging down, just the circle would be perfect on here, I think. I kind of love it. But I want to make sure I have it all stamped up, that I don't have any open black or blank spots. You could also make these, if you don't have tracing paper in your stash, you could make these out of some of the thinner, just pretty paper. You could make these out of, if you have like the thin lunch bags, just the craft colored lunch bags, this would be great with those, and you could stamp on top of those as well. Now, what was my best way to get so these are almost 9. Yeah. So that's what I think that I did. I cut them at cut them at 3 inches this way, like this. And this is really fine paper. So what I found that helps to keep from tearing your paper at the start is to put your blade down like this. So put your blade down in the middle and then go both ways. It does help, believe me. There. Now I have a little bit left over. I did on the last one too. So I left that. It goes in my paper scrap box. And then I'm going to take these and put them together. And cut them in half, which I believe was 4 1/4. There. So they're not quite in half, but they're close enough. So I have a bunch in various different stages to show you how I made these. So what I'm doing is folding. I'm just taking the piece. I'm folding it into the middle, like that. Line it up here so that you make sure that this is a square fold. Then I'm taking this and turning it over. I'm going to lay it beside my ruler, and I'm going to fold this in to 2 inches, just like that. Then I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to take a piece of tape. I'm going to put a piece of tape on here. And I'm going to fold it over so that that's sealed down. So now I have this little tube right here. So this will be my bag. Then at the bottom, to make the bottom, I'm going to, which one do I like at the top? I like this at the top. And you can, that's something to look for. So when you have your papers cut out and you've done your stamping on them, by the time you get to here, there's usually one end that looks better than the other. Excuse me, my throat's got a tickle in it. So I'm going to fold it on this end. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to fold this up just about 1/4 of an inch, not even that maybe. And I'm going to take my wet glue, in my case it's my Tombow Mono, and I am going to put, because I love this little tip, and I'm going to put this right across here, and then I'm going to fold it over and push it down. But this still isn't going to be glued down, so the top layer of this is still going to be open, just like that. So there. So see that? I've glued it down, but because we're folding over 2 pieces, open that up. Put a little bit in there, not much. Just make sure you got the tiniest bead across. That's all it takes with this paper because it's so thin. You'll know what paper you're working with and what glue to use. Now, because this paper is so thin, I couldn't cut these with my regular decorated shears. So I actually have these ancient old Singer pinking shears. And I'm cutting off the smallest tiny little bit at the top because I don't want to make my bag smaller, but just the smallest tiny little bit at the top, like that. Okay? So then to embellish the front, I've taken just some little book page. You have to tear this because it's not going to look good if you don't tear it. Just that. And make sure this book page is really thick. It's really old. It's from an old book that I got at a yard sale, but it's an old English story written that way, and it's not a first edition. It's nothing important or valuable. And there. I just bought it because the paper was heavy. I bought it strictly for craft supplies. The paper was heavy, and so I have this. It's all grunged up and it's dirty looking. So I am just going to put it just right here. I'm just going to slap it on there. I don't want it to look straight. I don't want nothing. I just want a grungy, dirty piece of book page there. Then I'm going to look for something to put on the front of it. So maybe a word, just a word this time. If you use a chit chat word, this is big chat. I like this together. Yeah, because we're all in this together. So if you use a word like this that is white, you have to gunge it up. So I'm just going to go around the pages with the ink pad itself because it makes a mess. It gets on the word. And then I'm going to, because this is sticky on the back, but it's not sticky enough to stay permanently. Once that sticky dries out, yeah, you're done for. So then I'm going to try to put this on here like that. And then I took my brown Tombow. I used my pointy end and I actually drew lines like this around my top word. There. So it says together. So see how grungy and dirty that is? I really like that. I really, really like that. Okay, so I have this. I took an 8.5 by 11-inch piece of craft cardstock, just a thin, you know, cheap cardstock, dollar store kind. I glued book pages all over it, and then with the wrinkles that were on top, I just took this and very lightly went over it so that I grunged it up, and then I used that black ink with my ampersand. I stamped the ampersand all over that paper. And then when it was dry, this is what I'm using to cut up into my tags. So my tags are 3¼ inches long by just a hair under 2 inches to fit in those little tiny bags. I don't want it to be too tight because I don't want it to rip it. Then all I'm doing is taking my scissors and I'm cutting. I'm just going to set that on there. On these little ones, it doesn't really matter that much, but just to give me an eyeball wear. And then I'm cutting. So I have my tag. They don't have to be perfect. The really little ones I find with my fingers are really hard to work with. But my hole that I'm making, I'm using my crocodile just because I think this requires a smaller hole, but you could put a bigger hole in it. I mean, it wouldn't hurt it to put a bigger hole in it if all you've got is just a 1-hole punch. So I have that, put everything down, and of course, I'm going to edge. And I am edging quite a bit. There's a hair, or not a hair, a piece of fluff stuck on that. Probably off of here. So, I'm making sure that I come in from my line so that I got this right in here like this. I'm getting lots on the tag. Grunging that up really good. I do like it really grungy. And then put this in here. And then the last thing that I'm doing to finish it off, I am taking, I'm going to need a new roll. I am taking my tape and I want these to be ready, like just to be able to grab them and go. If I need something to stick it in, I just want to grab this and be able to put it on a journal page without losing my train of thought and without any other worries. So I even have the little sticky on the back, And the only thing that I have to do is peel this off, stick it on, and I have my teeny tiny little pocket with my teeny little tag in here. So I'm loving this. And I will get, out of one sheet of tracing paper, I can get 6 little bags. So I can do with 2 pieces, I can get 12 of these. So I'll have a dozen of these ready to go. And that's how simple it is to make them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below and let me know what you think of these. And yeah, let me know what you think of them. I think they're a great little embellishment. Now you could do these little bags. You don't have to have them grunged up like this. Before I forget, I just want to let you know, you don't have to have them grunged up like this. You could use colored inks on these. You could use floral, like you could do these with floral stamps and make them very botanical. And do your tags the same way. You could do them with, you know, little, with garden paper, garden scrapbooking paper. Make little bags like this for those people that are just into the floral and garden style journals with lots of birds and butterflies and things like that. Use your imagination and just go crazy making these. I'm on this kick right now because I happen to be working in a very vintage style journal. And yeah, so anyway, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like it. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come on back and watch some more videos and see what kinds of things I'm going to be working on while I'm cooped up here in my self-isolation. We came from Ontario to New Brunswick, so we have to stay in for 14 days. We are very healthy. We're well, if anybody's worried about that. So none of that. Hopefully it stays that way. And we were very careful coming across while we were driving and taking all the precautions and staying away from people. So hopefully we're okay and we didn't pick anything up anywhere. And yeah, so my heart goes out to all those people who are cooped up like we are, but get those crafting tools out and make yourself busy. And have some fun. It's a good time to have some fun. Don't worry about all the stress and the threat of being sick, and just have some fun and let yourself relax a little bit. So I just want to make a note here that my husband is a musician and writes his own music. So his way of keeping busy right now during this COVID-19 isolation is to just record some of his homegrown songs and put them up on his YouTube station. So he's just starting that. So I'll put the I'll put the link in the description box below, and go on over and listen to a few of his songs. And if you like him, give him a thumbs up and subscribe to his channel as well. Yeah, we love you guys. So bye-bye for now, everybody. Be safe and take care. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.